Hey, good afternoon everybody. I hope you're all doing super well. It's a lovely, Monday afternoon here in Seoul, South Korea. Super hot weather still, so very sticky. You see I've got the fans on here trying to cool down, but it's all good. We love it, and it's better than being super freezing cold, which will come a little bit later. So guys, we haven't been here for a little while. I've got a little video for you. I want to share a few things with you, and this is something I was writing down the other day that was just a bit of an activity and exercise, and I really enjoyed it, so I wanted to share it with everybody. Now, I've called this 10 things. Now, what this actually means is 10 things that I gave up or I stopped doing after I had children. Now, guys, if you don't have kids, don't worry. This does relate to you, so please stay with me. I know a lot of these things comes towards, being a dad or a mother or a parent or whatever it is, but this one here applies to everything, and especially, there's actually a bigger lesson for those of you who haven't got kids yet about what this video is all about. So, 10 things I stopped doing once I had children. I'm going to just kick right into it because it's 10 things. It's a lot. So, number one, guys, what did I stop doing? Number one, I stopped wasting my money on material objects and things that do not matter. So right over here, actually right behind me, I have this case of watches. I used to be a watch fanatic, buying watches every payday because I thought that's what made me happy. So I used to spend a lot of money on that stuff. These days I could really care less. The batteries are even dead in those things, so it really doesn't matter, and I hardly ever wear them. So just goes to show, right? Wasting money on that is not a good deal. It can go to somewhere much, much better. Number two, I used to say yes to every job and every opportunity and every party invitation before I had kids. Or I would make up really bad excuses like, oh, nah, I'm pretty busy, or oh, yeah, I'll be there, or the old Kiwi style, or yeah, nah. But you know what? After that happened, obviously there's spending time with your kids or spending time at home and being a good parent or having some social outings. So it just got a lot less, and I stopped saying yes to every single one, which I was pretty big at. Number three, living with my head in the clouds. Okay, so guys, that's what I call when you're sort of in dream state all the time with very little action and very little guidance into what you're doing. So before kids, I think priorities were very different back then, so I wasn't really focused on the end result or where I want to go or what I want to happen. So they really helped me get my focus on there. Next one, number four, I was spending a lot of time on my appearance and on my body. So I'd spend a lot of time at the gym, way more than I do now. Now I'm 40 minutes to an hour maximum. Back then I was up to 3 hours in the gym over the day. It wouldn't be in one session, but I was spending a lot of time doing that. Spending a lot of money on supplements. Every supplement you can ever imagine I've pretty much tried. These days I'm on very little supplementation at all, just protein shake every now and then, otherwise nothing. So really change that sort of mindset and focus a little bit more on other aspects of my life. Of course, working out is super important. I'll never take that away, but just got to make sure that I'm focusing not so much where it's very uneven, right? Okay, next one, number five. It follows along from that, and I've stopped being so selfish. I'm a little bit selfish still in some regard, but many things I had to kind of cut out, and that does think about the workouts, the partying, the shopping, all those things all relate to me not being so self-centered on myself, but understanding that I'm now responsible for many people and lots of different outcomes and lots of futures. Okay, number six, I was really bad, right? So I've stopped focusing on the destination only, and I would never focus on the journey. You go on a road trip, all I think about is, man, it's like a 5-hour road trip to get to that destination. Let's just not do it. That's pretty crazy. Focus on the journey. So when you have kids, I find that I'm really much more focused on the experience of it all. That journey to that 5-hour road trip, we can stop, we can go to a picnic area, we can eat some food somewhere, we can do whatever it takes to make that journey a lot more enjoyable, because if we take all the journeys and we minus those off our times during the year, that's a lot of downtime that we're not taking advantage of, right? So I think that's really sad. So make the most of that journey, because the destination is going to be there. We're going to get there, all right? Next one was disrespecting my wife and her needs, wants, and desires. So I was so much focused on what I wanted that I wouldn't really listen to anybody else, including my wife at the time. Once kids rolled around, as I've said in other videos, those relationships and that really tightens up and blends together in one, and you start flowing in a flow state where you know that you're doing the same thing for the same reasons, and it's super powerful, and I really thank for that, because otherwise I get a little bit space cadet back in the day. Next one, living for the weekend. You know what I'm talking about, right? Monday through Friday is preparation for a big party weekend. That's what I was doing. So I stopped doing that, because now, actually, those of you that have kids may agree with me here, Monday is the best day of the week. I've said it a million times, and that is because kids go back to school. Yeah! the weekend is a tough time. 24/7, you gotta occupy, keep it busy, do lots of activities. The Monday comes around and it's like the best day of the week. So you sort of change your mindset a little bit as well, where the weekends are spent doing fun activities and staying busy, and not just recovering from one or maybe two really big nights. That's been one of the biggest changes. Number 9, it flows on from that, guys. Going out drinking and partying until the sun comes up. You know, I'm pretty famous for doing that back in the day. I've got some stamina, right? So I would enjoy just, once a good time started, I didn't want to finish that thing off, right? I just keep on going. You know, we all know nothing good happens after 10, after 11. You know, after that, things start getting pretty bad if you're out drinking. So make sure, you know, for me, I had to make sure that doesn't happen anymore, because the cost that's going to be, that the feeling and the wasted time, the wasted energy is just not worth it anymore. So I had to focus on that, which also led on to the whole, I stopped having hangovers. Whoa! You know, those of you that have had a hangover before know that those things are not worth anything. The good time you had, maybe it wasn't even so good that it was worth how miserable you can feel. And the older you get, you know, when you start getting into your 30s and 40s, those hangovers start to feel even worse, and they last longer. Oh man, yeah, really bad, right? So have a screaming child added to that, and it's just not a fun game. So I just don't do those anymore, okay? And then the last one, which I think is really important, it's sort of affecting us even more now, is we stop taking our environment for granted. That means your home, the city you live in, the areas you go to, the schools your kids, all these areas play a part in your environment. Whether it drives you to be happy or upset or crowded, all these things really take a massive toll on you physically and mentally and spiritually. So this is something now where, as my kids get older, that I'm really conscious about, because it's has a massive impact. I mean, I grew up in New Zealand in huge spatial areas with fields and trees and good times, and here we're sort of tucked into a little apartment living, which can cause a lot of stress, and it's just not that fun, to be honest, a lot of the time. So those are my 10 things. There are many more. You know, like stopped having full night's sleep. So another one, guys, the reason I wanted to share this is because out of all those 10, just have a think about those. If I could go back and think about the ones I would stop before I had kids, how many do you think I would actually give away back before I had kids? How many would you give away now if you don't have kids? What do you think you'd like to try? I would stop doing all 10 of those then. It's nothing to do with having kids or not. It's about having some focus on what's up here and what your goals are, you know? So when you're, sometimes an external source will force you to set a goal, and it could be health related. It could be the doctor said, hey, mate, you're in a bad state. If you don't start looking after yourself, things are going to get bad for you. So boom, you change your lifestyle. It could be a relationship that's ended or started. It could be a job. It could be a relocation to another country. Or it could be like me, having kids. All these external factors actually make you grow up very quickly, make you refocus what your goals are and where you want to go in your life, and make sure that you're trying. It's always hard. It's always a never-ending battle. But trying to place those things together so you can get there in a safer, more fun, more enjoyable, way where you're enjoying that journey and you're not wasting all your time doing those silly things that I would be doing back in the day. Alright everyone, I hope this video helped you. Again guys, have a little assessment of some things you have in your life right now that you would like to cut. Don't go ahead and cut 10 of these things in a way. That's happened over years. But maybe there's one or two that you know don't serve you or add value to your life at all. No questions at all. You know there's one or two. Now I want you to write them down, burn them on a piece of paper, and give a big ceremony where you say, I wish you well, these are no longer parts of my life, and they're gone. Whaboosh! A big sending off ceremony. Give it a shot. If there's something that you're thinking about giving up right now that doesn't serve you well, that's sort of similar to my list, why don't you share them with us below? If you're not game to do that, share them in a DM to me, because I'm happy to share, read these things and understand what you're going through. Or you have some questions, let me know. But again, guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching this video. I really appreciate your eyes on me and me to be able to share some experiences with you. Take care, everybody. We'll see you all again very soon. Have a fantastic week. Cody out. Peace.